So for the people that are new around here, my name's Cameron and I used to be a firefighter. If you're familiar with my face on YouTube, you've probably seen the videos that I made last year or the year before when I was in the fire service. I was doing like a nighttime routine, daytime routine. Over on TikTok, I used to make day in the life, so like Christmas Day. And I made a lot of videos which helped a lot of people. And that's really where my YouTube kind of, I say career as such, I guess started. That's when I started really uploading on YouTube properly, when I started taking it a bit more seriously. And that's when I started to get a lot of messages from people who wanted to be a firefighter, who wanted to get in the fire service, and it was their kind of dream, which is like more than kind of okay. Like everyone's dream is to, everyone's got their own dreams, you know what I mean? And a lot of people that got in contact with me wanted to be a firefighter. That's all it was. For you guys that don't know who I am, like I just said, my name's Cameron. I was a firefighter, and for the past like 2 years I quit the fire service. It's been about 18 months now, I believe, since I quit. Maybe just under 18 months, around 14, 15 months, I believe. So it's been quite a long time. Now in this video, I'm just going to detail and just run you guys through whether I actually regret this decision and whether it was actually worth it, or whether it's been the best decision of my life. If you've been following my content for a while over on TikTok, you know that I've just finished a summer in Ayia Napa. I was in Cyprus for the summer, my second summer. I also went last summer as soon as I quit the fire service. That was my next destination. And I've kind of been on this like entrepreneurial, travel, digital creator kind of path. I can't really put like a pinpoint of what I would call myself. I guess a content creator, but I don't really like using them words. I'd just rather be called like an entrepreneur, or I don't know, just Cameron, just my name. That's more than good enough. So when I look back to my journey as a firefighter, it was actually like really good. I had ups and downs, like don't get me wrong, like any job that you go into, you're gonna have highs, you're gonna have lows. There might be people in the job that you don't particularly get on with, and that's fine. Everybody's different. You have different personalities from all over the country. You kind of put yourself together and people do clash. It's just that like natural. That's just what does happen when you put people from different environments and different backgrounds together. Like everyone gets brought up differently, everyone has different morale, everyone sees the world through different pairs of eyes. So things like that do just happen. You will encounter people that you don't get on with, and you will encounter people who don't get on with you, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, my journey as a firefighter, it was good. Like when I look back at it now, I actually kind of, I miss certain parts of it. Like I miss going out on the truck with the lads. I miss going to incidents. I miss kind of getting proactive, and I just miss the kind of the station life, I suppose, like having that kind of station life with your crew and stuff, because I had some of like my most ever laughs in the fire service. I had a really good group of guys, and yeah, it was really good, and my training was good, and everything was kind of not, it wasn't the worst in the world, you know what I mean? I wasn't in the worst position in the world. When I look back at it now, I was obviously very frustrated. I did make a video on why I quit the fire service. I'll leave a link to it around here if you want to go and watch the reason in depth of why I did leave. But obviously I had my problems. Obviously there were certain things that I didn't like, certain ways that I was treated that I didn't like, but I explained that all in the video that I made on YouTube probably about a year ago now, so you can watch that if you really want to dive deeper into why I left the fire service. And in the video I just go over my decisions, why I'm leaving, what I was feeling at the time, what I was thinking at the time. And it's good to look back on that for me personally, because it was a hard time in my life, and I'm not gonna shy away from that. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it or pretend that it wasn't, because it was. It was a time where I look back to now, and I was like probably at my lowest, and I look back to that time and I don't ever want to be in that position again. Like I had all these things going right for me. I had like an amazing job. I was making YouTube videos, getting amazing feedback by you guys. Everybody loved the content. But there was things behind closed doors which I didn't show, even things in the video. Like there wasn't, the video that I made about why I left, I didn't dive too deep into it because I couldn't. But there's a lot of things that happened that you guys probably will never know, and that's fine. Like that's fine. There's a lot of feelings that I felt which I can't just post online publicly because it wouldn't be right of me, and I just don't feel like there's a need to anymore. So how did I actually go about leaving? Why did I leave, and what was my reasons behind it? Now, I probably did speak about this in the video, but just to refresh your guys' mind, I always wanted to be traveling. I always wanted to earn money online. I always wanted to be able to make a living from anywhere in the world by just having my camera, which I'm recording this on, my laptop, and just my brain and a Wi-Fi connection. In my opinion, this is the best form of income. This is the best way to live your life, because you have ultimate like flexible freedom. For example, I can make YouTube videos from anywhere in the world. I can make TikToks from anywhere in the world. I can use social media to earn me money from anywhere in the world. It's actually quite interesting when you dive into it and when you kind of look into it. And I highly suggest, if you're watching this video and that is something that you've thought about doing, or something that, I don't know, you might be interested in the lifestyle that I've been living. You might have been following my content for a while and you've seen me go to Thailand, Ayia Napa, travel to like Barcelona. You've seen all the vlogs and stuff. And it's something that you want to do. It's something that you can see yourself doing, because that was like me 2 or 3 years ago. The fire service for me was just somewhere where I felt like I was behind in terms of like my friends were getting jobs and all this stuff, and I felt like I needed a job. I needed a secure job. I say secure in inverted commas because no job is secure. That's something that you need to get out of your head straight away. Whatever job you have the ability to get sacked. If anything, you're going to be more secure with your income if you work for yourself, because you set your prices, you decide when to go to work. You can't sack yourself from your own company. Do you know what I mean? Like if you swear at a customer or something and it's your company, you deal with it yourself. Like you don't get people involved, and do you know what I mean? There's pros and cons to both, but don't feel like you're safe if you're in a full-time job. That's the last thing that you need to think. So leaving the fire service was actually something that I had in mind, to be fair, ever since I joined, because when I joined, I just knew straight away that I wanted to travel. I knew I wanted to do all this kind of crazy stuff. I knew I had all these ideas in my head and I didn't want to be trapped in one location or one job. Don't get me wrong, you can travel in the fire service. You can take kind of a couple of weeks off here, week off here, week off there, do you know what I mean? But it wasn't the travel that I wanted to do. I wanted to live in different countries. I wanted to be in places for longer than a month. I wanted to kind of live life on my own terms, and that the fire service didn't give me the flexibility to do that. So that was one of the main reasons I left. Of course, with all the different other problems that I had inside the fire service, as I started making content online and stuff, that just come naturally. And that just, if anything, that just made me want to leave even more. That was more so just like a way where I could, like, I don't know, like this clearly isn't going to work because I want to do this, but yeah, and I'm getting held back from doing this. And it just wasn't, it was a conflict of interest. That was the main thing. And then, like I said, there are quite a few things in the service that did annoy me at the time. Looking back now, I'm kind of over it. It is what it is. Like, my life has moved on tremendously, which I'll talk about later on in the video. I've kind of done things which I've exceeded my own expectations, which is something which you need to realize. If you want to leave your job, if you believe in yourself, then you can do it. Like, I'll get onto this later on, but don't feel like you're stuck in one place. Like, take the leap, do what it is that you need to do, have a plan, make sure you know what you're doing, make sure you have a rough idea of what you're doing, and things will just fall into place naturally. For the people that don't actually know what I did after I left, like I've just briefly mentioned, I went to Ayia Napa, Cyprus. Over here I was doing like photography, video work, still posting online, still documenting my journey as I always will do. But my main kind of income was a skill that I learned 2 years prior to this, photography, learning how to record, learning how to use a professional camera, learning how to edit on professional software. All this kind of stuff I used, and I invested in this stuff from my money, from my fire service or my 9-to-5 job. That is what you need to do. If you're in a position now where you haven't got the money, you want to escape as such, or you don't really know what to do, find a skill which is going to enable you to work anywhere in the world. Photography, for example, editing, building a personal brand, using your own person, your own voice as a means to earn money and work with brands and kind of do all this stuff around the world. Think about skills, think about your communication skills, start talking in front of a camera, start getting comfortable being uncomfortable. It's not comfortable speaking in front of a camera, it's not easy. A lot of people that sit in front of a camera, it makes them look shy, it makes them look nervous. Me, I hope you can tell that I've been in front of a camera for a long time now, over 2 years, so I'm getting used to it. It's becoming more normal. I can go around in the streets and record myself and not give a fuck about what anyone thinks. Sorry about swearing, but it's true. Don't feel like you have to start as soon as you quit your job. Like, get prepared for what it is that you want to do, just like I did. And that's all I'm just explaining to you guys, is my story and what I advise to someone who might want to quit their job right now. You might be in a job that you don't like, and hopefully this video so far is helping you with that. Now, obviously in Ayia Napa, I can't sit here and say it went smoothly well. I can't sit here and say that as soon as I left the fire service, I just went on a mad trajectory. I definitely went upwards in terms of like a graph, but there was times where just like a graph, you go up and then something might happen and you get like a setback, and then you go up a little bit further. Then you might get another setback, and then maybe another setback, but then you rise even higher. These are the things that you need to go through. It's part of entrepreneurship. It's part of working for yourself. It's part of being on your own and just trying new things and starting businesses and failing and just doing things which scare you, because a lot of people won't do it. A lot of people your average person in a 9 to 5, and this is why if you're watching this video, you're probably a lot different to the average person. They won't take the risks that you're willing to take. They won't do what you're willing to do. The average person in a 9 to 5 won't do what I done. You'd get in the fire service and you'd just be comfortable for the rest of your life. This is what scared the fuck out of me. This is what scared me kind of shitless. Sorry about my swearing, but this is really what made me think, like, oh my God, I don't want to be doing this for the rest of my life. I don't want to get stuck here. And I know a few other people in the fire service who are feeling like this, but they might have a mortgage, they might have kids, they might have more responsibilities, they might have more financial debt, do you know what I mean? Like, they might have had took out a car finance where realistically they didn't need to do that. That's a story for a whole other video with how you should spend your money and stuff. I'll make a video on this actually. But a lot of people get trapped in this kind of cycle. But the thing that you need to know, and the thing that you need to separate yourself, is to just take the leap. Grab it by the balls, do what it is that you need to do, and you'll get to where you want to get to. Now, I've recently come back from quite a long trip in Thailand, and I just want to explain what happened when I first got to Thailand. This was my first time living away from home on my own. I quit the fire service. I went to Iron Apple for the summer. I'll come back to the UK for a few months just to settle a bit, just to kind of get my bearings. Still wasn't like kind of earning massive amounts of money. And then come January, I went to Thailand. I just went 4 months traveling around Thailand, and kind of, I'll talk about my experience briefly. When I first landed in Bangkok, the capital of Thailand, I thought to myself, I had this moment, and this is a thing I will never ever forget. For the first time, I kind of shit myself, and I thought, what the hell am I doing? I got to the airport, I remember getting outside, seeing all the taxis and stuff, completely different culture, completely other side of the world, like furthest away I've been from home ever, and I'm on my own. I don't know anybody in the country, anybody in the continent of Asia, I don't know anyone. And I'm standing there and I'm thinking, what am I doing? Have I made the right decision? Like, I remember saying, like, Cam, what are you doing? What's going on? Like, are you sure you want to do this? But in hindsight, that was probably the turning point for me, because that's when you start realizing that right now, this is real. This is what I'm doing. Like, things start to become a lot more real, and you start growing up and you start becoming an adult. You start developing as a human and developing as a person, and it's all lessons, it's all things that you'll learn along your journey. It's very, very good to do, and I highly advise anybody, if you're watching this video, just to go off on your own somewhere, spend a month abroad, spend 2 months, 3 months abroad, and you will learn so much about yourself. You'll learn so much about what you want from life, and you will just get opportunities. Like in Thailand, I ended up falling on my feet. Like, very luckily, because of the connections I made in Iron Apple, I managed to get work out in Thailand. So not only in Thailand now am I kind of living for free, I'm also eating for free. And like, the only money I was spending was on my transport. And if I really wanted to go out for a nice meal, like the kind of hotel which I was working at, the hotel which I was staying at, everything was free in exchange for my content creation services. I didn't get paid actual money, but for the accommodation that I saved, for the food that I was eating every day, I didn't need to like work. Do you know what I mean? I had money already there. I was probably spending like £300 a month, and that's just on like bits of shopping. If I went to go and get like protein shakes and water, a gym membership, like I was literally spending £300 a month living in one of the most expensive islands in Thailand, Koh Samui. Very, very beautiful, very, very nice, and I was spending £300 a month. Like, that is, when I look back, that is ridiculous. And that's just from the movements that I made. That's just from taking the leap. That's just from investing in the camera, investing in myself, and thinking ahead, thinking in the future. I first picked up a camera like 2 years ago, 3 years ago now probably. Yeah, coming up to 3 years ago now when I first invested in my first camera. And it's just crazy to think that like something that I knew was going to work eventually did pay off in the long run, and it's still paying off now. I'm still getting booked to do things all over the country, all over the world. I can take my work anywhere in the world, and I'm just comfortable that I will always be able to earn money, or to be able to provide some value. If you're not earning money, just think about how you can provide value from someone. That's all business is, exchanging value for value. That is all business actually is. So do I regret leaving the fire service? That is the big question, and honestly the answer is no. I do not regret leaving the fire service, because I look back, and don't get me wrong, I could have lived very comfortably in the fire service. I could have probably had an easier route than what I've been through now the last 12 months, you know what I mean? I could have just went to work every day, went to work every week, had a holiday here and there, got sick pay. If I knew I wanted to go away, I knew I was getting paid to do it, do you know what I mean? Annual leave. I could have done all that stuff. but I wouldn't have been fulfilled, and I wouldn't have met the people I've met. I wouldn't have earned the amount of money that I've earned, and I wouldn't have made the connections and the kind of opportunities that's been given to me. Behind fear is so much opportunity, and I cannot stress this enough. If you're out there right now and you're thinking, I want to take the leap, I want to change my life, I want to go on a different path, you're a younger version of me. You are literally me 2 or 3 years ago, and that's exactly how I felt. And you can do it. I'm telling you this now from someone who is probably 2 or 3 steps ahead of you. I'm not a multimillionaire. I'm not a YouTuber with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I'm not this kind of mad guru. I'm just a normal person who's been through what you want to go through, who's learnt the lessons, and who's telling you from experience that you can do it. Don't get me wrong, fire service, really, really good job, and a job which I still recommend to people now. I still get messages to this day of people asking me about the fire service, and I'll never say it's a bad job. I'll never lie. I will never kind of portray the fire service to be something that it isn't. I'll always tell the truth. And now I've built my brand, now I've kind of been able to work from anywhere in the world, and I'm not so worried about money as much as what I could have been. I don't have nothing to lose. I don't have to praise the fire service. I don't have to lie for the fire service. I don't have to kind of pretend that what happened didn't happen. Do you know what I mean? Just for the sake of like earning a bit of money or being scared that I'm gonna have to go back. Like, never say never. I'm not saying I'll never go back to the fire service. It's an amazing job, and if I was probably 30 years old, 40 years old, and I wanted to settle down, sorry, I've done my traveling, I've done what I wanted to do. Nothing's really moving for me, and I just wanted like a nice job, like with kind of good people, good working environment, and something that I was interested in. 100% I could be back in the fire service. Who knows? You can never tell the future, and like I just said, never say never. But I've learned a lot of lessons since leaving the fire service. I've learned more about money. I've learned more about myself. I've learned more about how the world actually works. I've learned more about different cultures. I've learned more about how people perceive the world, and how you can get kind of wrapped up in this field that we're in the UK. Like, I'm gonna make a video about the UK because it's so toxic, and I'm just gonna leave it at that because I don't want to dive deeper into the UK in this video. But once you spend time in another country, once you see how other people live, once you see how affordable life can be when you kind of change your focus and think about money differently and your approach to work and all these things, the world opens up. Everything opens up for you, and it's only a matter of time you can live that life if you just start taking action. But no, in terms of regrets, I wouldn't regret anything because it was something that I wanted to do at the time. I was the one that applied for the fire service. I was the one that went through the recruitment process. I was the one that went through the training. I was the one that put myself in that position. I was the one that got up and went to work every day. Like, it was something that I wanted to do. So I'm not going to sit here and say I regret it. Not at all, but I'm just saying that I now understand why I've done it more, and I actually I'm very happy for myself because I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't take the risk. And I knew I had it in me. I knew I believed in myself. I knew I could do what I wanted to do. People used to laugh at me for making videos. People used to laugh at me for, you know what, just putting myself out there or just doing certain things. And it's the people that laugh are the people that are kind of the most unhappiest, are the people that are going to work thinking, yo, this guy's actually killing it. Like, he's done what he said he's going to do. Like, I remember he was a firefighter. Like, I used to work with him, and now he's doing this, now he's doing that. And it's not to boast, it's not to like shit on those people, but it's more so for me, it's like, I know you didn't believe in me. I know you used to laugh at me. I know you used to probably tell people things behind my back. Like, I know all this stuff, but it's just interesting to see. Obviously, there's people in the fire service which I get on with, and if they message me tomorrow or today, I'd happily go meet them for a drink or something. Like, I know who I used to trust in the fire service, and I knew who to be wary of. So that was the main thing for me. If you're in a job right now, just keep your kind of wits about you. Don't share too much about your personal life. Obviously, social media, if you want to start creating content, it's going to eventually get out there. When I started making videos for the fire service, I knew it was eventually going to get out there. I knew somebody or someone was going to see it, then another person would see it, and then they'd send it to someone else. And it was just a matter of time, but it shows that it's working. It shows that what you're doing, it's getting out there, and you're kind of reaching new audiences. That's how I used to look at it. So yeah, I never used to like promote my videos really that much. It would just be from like word of mouth and what people would speak about. And when you go on YouTube, you probably see like fire service stuff, and it'll be me. And that's how I built my community basically. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna wrap this video up now, guys. One last message that I'll say to anyone out there who is like the younger version of me. You're probably, I don't know, let's say you're between 18 and 22 years old. You're thinking of getting into a kind of full-time job. Your parents are telling you to do this, your friends are getting into these big jobs, and you're sitting there thinking, I want to start creating content online. I want to start building my personal brand. I want to start working for myself. I want to be able to do what Cam does and travel wherever he wants in the world and still earn money and still create content and still kind of bring an audience in and monetize that and just live a different life. You can do it. If you need any help, reach out to me, questions or whatever. I think in the coming weeks I might drop a community, and I probably won't charge for it, to be fair. Just be people who are younger, like younger versions of me, and I just want to help people. I just want to use this channel to really show you guys that it's possible and to educate you, and to just make, every time I want you to come to this channel is to learn something or to kind of see an insight into my life which you could have in your own life. That's the main purpose of this channel. I think that's what I want to go down. Very authentic, very real. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to say exactly how it is. Obviously some parts of my personal life, my private life, I'm not going to share online. That's just my personal preference. Some people share their relationships online. Some people share like money in their bank account online. I don't do that stuff, and it's not really what I want to do. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure you like it. Subscribe to the channel if you like me and you can kind of see my content relating to you and resonating with you and the life you want to live. And if you've got any questions, once again, drop them down in the comments. Thank you for watching, guys. I'm going to go to the gym now because I haven't been yet today and I've got football training tonight. But yeah, reach out to me if you need anything. Drop something in the comments if you've got any questions. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.